Hey everybody, I'm Quinn.
And I'm Scott, and it's time for the Almost Friday show for January 20th, 2011.
Kicking it off and off the press, we got some news about the 3DS launch date.
Finally got a launch date and a price, which is good, and a few release titles, if anyone was still excited about that.
Also, we talked about the Mortal Kombat sort of game/video trailer that came out a little while ago.
Yeah, that looked really cool.
Yeah, and now it's been confirmed to become a web series, so we'll tell you a bit more about that.
Yep. Dave's talking about two comics this week, Superior number 4 and Scarlet number 4.
Both
Two
with
fours.
S's, both with fours.
S with 4, S4. S4 squared.
S4 squared.
Tech Insight this week, we're talking about Apple, lots of earnings, and Steve Jobs is kind of taking a step back from the helm. Interesting there. And the ever-growing rumor engine at HP with the WebOS tablets.
Yes, we might be seeing some HP tablets, which I'm excited for.
Hopefully. They look promising.
They do.
We'll tell you about them.
And in Mad Science, Sean's talking about teleportation, time teleportation.
Which I still don't really
It's kind of like time travel, but a little bit different.
Instead of moving through it, you bring it to...
It's a whole lot of pulleys
He'll
and
tell
levers.
you. We're also going to talk about IBM Watson, which is the computer that is really, really good at Jeopardy.
And behind the lens this week, we're doing a shootout between two Marshall monitors for use with your HD DSLRs, or your video cameras for focusing and composing your shots.
Then we have the Lull of the Week. It's coming back this week for basically what happens is we're showing you what happens when you want to work for Sky TV
During rugby season.
during rugby season. It's intense.
It is. But without further ado, it's time for Off the Press. Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Press. We're kicking it off with some Nintendo news. The 3DS has a release date now. Canada's getting it March 27th.
Which is the birthday of someone who is not here right now.
That's true. It is Sam's birthday, March 27th. So if you would like to send her a 3DS, I'm sure she'd want one. Now, we get it like a month later than than the UK does. Oh no, than Japan, which really isn't surprising. Japan gets everything first.
Yeah. I mean, just shipping. I mean, really.
Listen, I don't know where you can fly to Japan like one day. Why does it take a whole month for a boat full of stuff to show up? Let's be honest. When they could just send it on a plane instead.
Customs.
And you have to pay customs whether it's a boat or a plane. Never mind. Anyway, Japan gets it February 26th. The UK and Europe get it on the 25th. So obviously the boat's going that way because they get it before us.
Yeah.
And then it's the extra 2 days to get into the United States, apparently, because we get it March 27th.
Because they all land in BC, I'm guessing.
No, because if they hit UK, then they're coming through. It's showing up in Newfoundland.
It's all right. They're going long way around.
All right. So there's a bunch of titles that have been announced. The lineup seems pretty interesting.
There was some that I noticed. The Madden football, I'm actually very interested in seeing in 3D.
Yeah, that could be pretty cool. And Madden's never really made a bad game, so...
That's the thing. That's sort of been, I wouldn't say a benchmark for these games for any system.
Yeah.
But it is sort of the proof of how much work they put into what they can do on this new platform.
For sure.
The other one that I'm very interested in seeing is the car racing one.
Yeah, and I've played Gran Turismo 5 in 3D, and having depth actually really makes a racing experience really cool because you have a sense of like where the road's going and where people are perceptually to you. So it's kind of neat.
When they started adding shading and stuff to the different Gran Turismo ones,
it
was like, wow, this is cooler. It became easier, and I don't know how much of that is going to be due to. Well, they just eased up on the responsiveness for the game, that sort of thing, or how much of it is, you know what, I've got a fuller picture, and thus a better comprehension of how the mechanics of this game.
Yeah.
There are a few games those were the two that really stuck out for me, though.
We got Kid Icarus. We've got a new Metal Gear Solid game. There's a Resident Evil game. There's a Ghost Recon game. So there's a little bit of everything, depending on what you're looking for. So those are all going to be launching.
Which I think for a platform, that's a pretty powerful launch too.
Yeah, there's definitely a good selection of stuff.
They really want this to work. They're along with most of the other technological companies where they're introducing 3D. They really seem to want to make it a go.
Yeah.
Interesting. But the stuff that we heard last week, Battlelift and that sort of thing, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about this.
Yeah, so. I think it'll do well. I mean, the DS has always been a popular title. people will continue to buy that, even though phones are catching on, because it's still a proper handheld gaming experience.
I don't think we're going to get the big advancements out of phones as we're getting out of handheld platforms.
Yeah, definitely.
So, all right, up next, what do we got? Captain America, OMG.
More picks, which makes you happy, always.
Whatever.
Chris Evans running around in any kind of superhero suit.
Yeah, you know what, though, this time, no skin. It's all sort of like, look at me in my hot Captain America gear. Maybe not hot, like not HAWT anyway.
Just HOT? Because
Like
it's
warm?
when he's wearing it, he sweats a lot. That's the problem. It's a perspiration suit. Anyway, this is
no, but it looks pretty cool because it looks like they got him in his modern gear, and they have two other super grainy pictures. Where I'm like, wow, you did it. Got these pictures off of like print, and they were probably postage stamp sized when they.
What happened was someone invented a camera that just took pictures on newsprint, and that's where the pictures are from.
It was the other two shots are unimpressive, but the first one where we see him running along with either exhaust ports or possibly missiles, I don't know. Looks pretty sharp. It's nice. It's very promising, and it gives me a little more confidence in seeing the movie.
Now, there's rumors that the trailer is going to be run in the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is going to get the
Thor and Captain America, I believe.
So no trailer yet, but if you watch football and also care about Captain America.
And you know what, though? Here's my guess for Canada. We're probably not going to get it.
Well, okay, but last year they made all of the commercials that ran during the Super Bowl available on the web right away, so you can watch them. Because the Super Bowl commercials are always pretty entertaining.
Oh yeah, it's
like
a big
last
deal.
year they had this whole big thing with Denny's about the free egg day, and it was just a whole bunch of hilarious commercials about chickens like running because they were finding out that they were all going to die for the free eggs, and there's a lot of really awesome commercials that get run at Super Bowl, so perhaps you'll be able to check it out.
I would hope so. I'd hope that Marvel's.
I'm sure Apple's going to have it up like a day later at the very least, anyways.
Yeah. So yes, a little excited about it, but I'm not so excited because I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to see him.
Speaking of things we're excited about, we checked out that Mortal Kombat trailer. It was like 8 minutes long, and we didn't know what the hell it was, but it was really awesome. We were all really excited for it. We didn't know whether it was for a video game or for a movie, and it turned out it wasn't really for either.
It's for a TV series.
Well, it
web
wasn't
series.
initially, but because it got such awesome response, Warner Premiere has now greenlit a 10-episode web series of this Mortal Kombat.
Which is kind of reminiscent of what happened with Tron. Like, Tron had that initial teaser, and the response to that was just unbelievable. And I'm wondering if this is sort of going to be, you know what, we're going to test the waters.
For sure. I mean, not a whole lot of web series that get put together these days by bigger companies, so it's interesting to see them doing that. So it's going to start filming in February in Vancouver, so it's a Canadian-made production, which is always good. We're going to see Scorpion, and a bunch of people are going to be in it.
King, Chan. I've never played the game,
going to be in it,
ever.
Katana.
I've never played any of these games, so I don't...
And Shao Kahn. And
I just don't even
all that
care.
kind of stuff are going to be... Yeah, it's going to have a pretty good cast. It's got Michael...
Chiklis?
No.
Douglas.
No, not Michael Douglas.
Clark
Michael
Kent.
Jai White, who is awesome in Black Dynamite. If you haven't seen it, you should go see that movie. It's hilarious. He's gonna be playing Riggs or Briggs, Jax. There you
Hudson?
go. Jax, Hudson.
Hudson.
You're just making things up now.
Hicks? I'm Hicks. He's Hudson.
Puma. Anyway, I'm excited. I want to watch it. I think it's gonna be good. If it's up to the production value of the trailer, I think it should be interesting.
I've seen the movies. It's funny though that the special effects in the trailer kind of demolished the first movie.
Well, but the first movie was made in the
when...
90s, so I mean...
You make that sound like it was a long time... Oh, crap, it was.
It was a long time ago. Anyway, very briefly, Spider-Man the Musical. Hey, guess what? It's been delayed again.
Which I feel bad about. I feel bad because now it's almost like... I almost feel like I'm like, you're down, I'm going to kick you again. I'm actually getting to the point where I almost want to see it out of
just to
curiosity
see what the hell
pity.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my recommendation. Just stop. Even when you finish, people still aren't going to like it. And someone's going to die.
This is not necessarily true because there have been decent reviews. No, sorry, not horrible. Like, okay, mediocre. All right, so we're talking.
Okay, but no one's really come out being like, you have to send everyone you know to see this. And if you're going to spend millions of dollars on a play, I mean, you should really be hoping people want to come out and send their friends to it. So
They're obviously they're making this this whole thing, this production in the hopes that it'll be showing for years.
Yeah.
But I want to see it now. Like, I do want to see it, and it's not just out of morbid curiosity anymore. Now, the big delay, apparently, this time, is that they have changed the ending from Peter and Mary Jane holding each other, and the curtains going down, to another aerial scene like we saw in the first and
So it
second
just seems
movies.
like they're acting for more trouble. Hey, let's add more aerials to it.
You know,
because
those things
are
that have
working
been
so
causing the
well right
delays?
now. Yeah.
Let's add more of those, because that, that shouldn't end badly in any way.
So if you were one of the 2.5 people that was really excited for Spider-Man the musical, you're just going to have to wait a little bit longer. I believe it's been delayed till March 15th or something like that. So yeah.
All right, now, new releases.
Yes.
Bum, bum, bum.
So on Blu-ray this week, we've got Death Race 2.
And we've also got Buried.
Now, Death Race 2 does not have Jason Statham in it. No. It is a direct-to-DVD, and it's likely pretty bad. It's supposed to be a precursor.
Because, Death Race was awesome.
Well, it was entertaining, kind of.
No.
Well, okay.
Anyway,
this is only going to be worse. Let's be honest. It's a precursor to the first one, so it's about how Death Race came to be.
Okay.
Yeah. Buried, though, that's a really cool movie. I watched it. It's
I liked it.
if you're claustrophobic, do not watch it. And if you're expecting an action movie, it's not that. It's very much an art house film. It's a guy in a box for an hour and 45 minutes.
And Ryan Reynolds really sort of gets to prove again, he can act.
Yeah. So it's
I don't think that's going to save Green Lantern.
he is the only person in the movie outside of disembodied voices on the cell phone.
And a snake.
Yeah, that doesn't really count, though.
If you don't like snakes, it counts.
I suppose. Anyway, I really liked it.
Me too.
But it is really definitely an art film. Or a proof of concept of, look, we can make something compelling about a guy in a box. So, check that out. Games this week, we've got Little Big Planet 2's coming out. So, the successor to the wildly popular Little Big Planet 1.
Yeah. I've only seen the commercials, and I really do like some of the music from Little Big Planet that
Definitely.
Sean has introduced some of us to.
Mass Effect 2 is finally hitting the PS3 because it's always delayed after the Xbox versions. So, if you were waiting...
Ta-da!
And then Mind Jack is coming out, which is...
I have no idea what this is.
It's a Square Enix game. Those are the guys that bring you Final Fantasy. It's very much the same art style as Final Fantasy. And from what I gather from the trailers, the idea is that you can hack into people and cars and robots' minds to fight in this war that's going on. It's all first person. It really doesn't look that interesting. Plus, the guy that does the voice talent for the trailers is all like, it's really exciting, and I'm like, you're overamping this guy. It's making me not want to play it.
But Square Enix, I mean, they've made
they've made
games,
good things, and they've made terrible things.
It isn't. Oh, okay. Now, when we're saying terrible things, what are we talking about?
Like Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 12, 13 times 2. Anything in the last 4 years? I don't know.
Really? So they've sort of gone downhill.
Yeah.
They're getting more into the pretty and getting away from the substance.
Now, this is a first-person shooter, which is sort of a new thing for them. I can't remember. They didn't do... did they do Metal Gear Solid? No? Okay.
No.
That was Konami.
Yeah, that's Konami. They make good games. So yeah, they really haven't done a first-person shooter properly. Okay. So we'll see what happens with that.
All right.
In other news, if you're a Top Gear fan, if you've been watching Top Gear US, it's
we have a couple fans here.
It's a season finale this Sunday, and I really feel like Top Gear, especially in the most recent episodes of the US one, they've really come into their own. It's an entertaining show on its own rights. I really like watching it. So I think it's become the show it could have been. And if you're a Top Gear UK fan, the new season is starting up on Sunday as well. So you've got 2 episodes of Top Gear to watch if you follow Top Gear in all of its forms.
What?
And that brings us to the end of Off the Press this week.
Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of From the Gutters. We're going to be talking about 2 books this week, Superior, and we're also going to be talking about Scarlet. They are both number 4s that came out this week. So Superior number 4, written by Mark Miller, illustrated by Lionel Yu, is a comic book about a kid. It's very much sort of like the power of Shazam, Captain Marvel. The comic is called so many different things. I call it Shazam, even though that's not really the name of the comic. At any rate, this is kind of a takeoff of Shazam, where there's a kid who has a magic word, and he is imbued with these incredible powers. He has flight, vision of various kinds, speed, whatever. In this particular issue, we are introduced to someone who might become Superior's nemesis. It's sort of dealing with the real-world logistics of a superhero that has been portrayed in movies becoming an actual global phenomenon. Did I like this book? I did. Did it blow me away? It certainly did not. So, I give this book Lionel Yu's work, by the way. I really like his work. And it's almost like I kind of wish he didn't work with Mark Miller, because Mark Miller's a very, we're going to totally gross people out. We're going to make it so gritty and so real that we're going to really, get people, and people are going to be upset just reading this. And I know that he has a Scottish accent, and I have no interest in doing one right now. But I look forward to seeing Lionel Yu's work under another writer. That being said, all in all, this series, I'm enjoying the artwork more than I'm enjoying the writing, but it is still a good book in both departments. This book gets a B-, which is a little higher than I thought I was going to be giving it, say, 2 issues ago. On to book number 2, we have Scarlet, number 4, written by Brian Michael Bendis and illustrated by Alex Maleev. Brian Michael Bendis is writing pretty much everything, and Alex Maleev is an artist who likes to, he's one of the artists that will take photographs of people and use those photographs to construct his comic. Now, when I want to explain the process a little more accurately, he will rough out what his pages are going to look like. He'll have models will show up, and he will take photographs of them, and then he will reconstruct his page using those photographs, and then he will do his illustrations based on those photographs. I really enjoy Maleev's artwork. In this particular issue, I thought he looked really rushed. I could be completely wrong, but it didn't have a lot of the charm, a lot of the beauty that his work had in previous issues of Scarlet. Brian Michael Bendis' writing, the story, Scarlet is someone who has had something horrible happen. Her boyfriend was killed by a corrupt cop for no reason. Well, not no reason, but not enough reason. So, she has mounted a one-person crusade to raise a revolution. In this issue, we start seeing grander steps towards realizing this revolution. Now, is it mind-blowing? No. I haven't had my mind blown this week. It hasn't been that kind of week. Is it really good? I would say yes. Is it better than Superior? Maybe marginally. Do I recommend it? It's good. It's full of things that people might not like, though. It's the kind of thing where the hero isn't necessarily the good guy. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, so Scarlet, number 4. What mark do I give it? I'm going to have to go with a B-. Why a B- and not something better? The artwork suffered in this issue, I thought, and the writing continues to be borderline sensationalist. That's about it this week. I'm Dave. I'll talk to you soon.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tech Insight. We're kicking it off with some HP news.
Yes, there was a leak from a reliable HP source to Engadget earlier this week about possible tablets being released by HP under the Palm brand. Love to see that brand staying around.
So is it going to have an HP logo on it?
I'm not sure.
It's interesting.
There's pictures.
I'd rock a Palm tablet. I don't know if I
mock-ups.
want to rock an HP tablet.
I really think HP is going to keep the Palm name around because it carries a presence
history.
in the market.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's been around the longest kind of thing. So I'm not really sure about the branding 100%. There's two. They're code word Topaz and Opal. One's a 7-inch. One's a 9-inch tablet. So basically, they're fairly similar, just different size, and with a focus on e-reading capabilities on the smaller one.
Okay.
So they're going to be running obviously WebOS 2,
Yeah.
which brings
Which
great
is a really nice operating
It
system.
is a really nice operating system. They basically took WebOS 1 and made it what it should have been.
Yeah.
They tweaked all the features they started. So you got real multitasking. So you can actually, like Android, you can actually run two processes at the same time, other than certain things which you can on iPhone. There's got Flash support, which came in WebOS 2. Again, the pretty panes and things like that. I'm assuming they'll optimize the UI a little bit for the
For a
tablets.
tablet, yeah.
Mind you, it wouldn't be much work.
No.
We're looking pretty high res. I think I saw 1024 by 768 on the 9-inch.
That'd be nice.
They're not sure on the 7-inch. I think someone thought it could be similar, but maybe not because that's a big res for a 7-inch screen.
Yeah.
So we're not sure on that. You're looking at rear face. I believe there was only one camera. Definitely camera equipped for sure. They'd be behind otherwise. They're supposed to be. You know how HP has that thing with the Beats branding.
Yeah. So I think I was here that might be some speakers built into it.
Yeah,
or
some nice
something.
Beats branded speakers.
Yeah.
So they're really aiming these like media devices, which makes a lot of sense when you're comparing with something like the iPad.
Yeah, I mean, a Palm tab would be something I'd want to own.
Yeah, I would buy that before I bought an iPad, probably.
Yeah, or a Galaxy Tab or something.
Definitely before I bought a Galaxy Tab. So
Yeah.
I'm really not impressed with the way that's set up. But pretty preliminary. But they should be announcing these at the HP's having a Palm event.
Okay.
I think they had something like the bigger, the smaller, and the future, or something like that. I can't
Okay.
remember their logo for the event or whatever.
It'd be cool if we saw some, concept new WebOS phones
Yeah.
too.
So apparently the source for Engadget said there's phones coming, but nothing spectacular.
Okay.
Which is kind of disappointing. But these tablets do look pretty hot. They're running 1.2 gig processors of some kind, which is about on par. So they should be being launched at I think there's a February 9th event or something like that.
Okay, so
In
very near
the next
future.
little bit,
Yeah.
they should be announced. Shipping, who knows? I've heard anything from March to this year to second quarter to third quarter.
Yeah.
It's kind of all over the place. I mean, this is all rumor, of course, but I mean, these things tend to be decently.
I'm excited for it. I want to see what they're going to
It looks good for
Yeah.
sure. I'm pretty excited. And I think this or the Playbook are really going to be what I would want as a tablet.
Yeah.
Not the iPad. Definitely not an Android.
Although we've heard
device.
some pretty crazy things about iPad 2 rumors.
Yes.
Some ridiculous resolutions.
And some ridiculous processing power.
Yeah,
which could really break the bank.
So
but,
we could see a pretty awesome iPad 2.
It's gonna be a good year for tablets.
I think so, for
like
sure.
real tablets, not vapor tablets like we've had last year.
Yeah, last year was like the year of 500 tablets, of which only 4 of them actually existed.
Yeah. So
So
pretty exciting.
yeah.
Keeping in the handheld markets, there's been lots and lots and lots of stuff leaked about the PSP2 and the PSP phone.
Yes.
And there's been lots of rumors. There's been like videos of someone sitting there with a phone branded Sony Ericsson
Yeah.
with the PS playing it.
Still doesn't have 2 thumb pads though, does it?
No,
Yeah.
they didn't get that.
Sony. Everyone wants to do 2 thumb pads.
2 thumbsticks. That's
No
what you-
one has said, "Hey, you know what was better when we only had 1?"
No, in fact, that's the only thing I don't like about my giant PSP. Love the PSP.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, but 1 thumbstick, weird. So the basically we should be expecting, according to I think it was Bloomberg or something like that, the PSP2 should be announced at Sony's event coming up in the next couple weeks. That looks cool because they're touting PS3 level graphics on a handheld.
How do they manage to accomplish that?
Well, you know how that's possible? Think about how big the screen is.
Dark Wizardry?
No,
Oh.
they don't have to process as much data
I
because the
suppose.
screen's not a 1080p display, right?
Yeah.
So they don't have to push that out. It's not being in 3D. They don't have
No.
to push all that out. So it's just like the PS2 and the PSP are about on par,
Yeah.
right? But the PSP is much smaller, much less powerful, but to get the same appearance, it's just a smaller screen, right?
I guess, yeah.
So that could be pretty exciting for the handheld, like, serious gaming market.
I'd be curious to see what the phone's going to accomplish.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
Because, I
kinda-
mean, I wonder if there's going to be, fragmentation between what the phone can do and what the PSP2 can do.
it looks like the phone's gonna be built off Android.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's been decided. It's basically because
Well,
Sony already makes Android phones.
yeah, Sony's Xperia is a
Yeah.
a prettier, well, not necessarily prettier, but a GUI mashed up Android.
Yeah. So probably Android. So it'll play the Android games. But are we going to see, like, can I buy, like, a normal PSP game? Because if you can't, I don't see the point.
Well, I'd imagine it would be much like the PSP Go, where you're buying the digital games, because it's not going to have a disc tray.
I think we're seeing the return
sure.
of physical media to the PSP2 as well. I've heard that.
Like they're going to put
I don't think it's going to be disc.
Yeah, because the UMD disc is just a bad idea.
Yes, it was an awful idea, and it takes forever to load, and it drains your battery.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be probably like little memory cards, like micro SDs or something, because those are really cheap for small sizes that'll fit in one game.
Yeah, then you'll just lose all of them, though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something like that. Or they'll go back to the giant memory stick duos. I don't know.
Well, it'd be smart for them to just do SD, since they moved all their phones and.
I think physical is. I think physical with the option of transferring it over is the best way to do it.
Definitely.
So that should be exciting. We should be seeing hopefully the PSP phone at Mobile World Conference coming up in the next couple months.
Cool.
Entertainment world.
So NBC decided that they were going to merge with Comcast.
Yes.
Which is the first time that a television studio has ever been bought out by a television provider.
Yes. In America. I don't know if that's happened around the world. I have a feeling there's been some weird stuff going on in Canada, probably.
Probably, yes.
'Cause our
the government just owns a bit of everything.
We're a little smaller up here, have less of everything.
Yeah.
So basically, this has been going on for about a year. I think Comcast was like, we're going to buy NBC. And NBC was like, we're going to let Comcast buy us. But of course, so many legal things got questioned when this happened, because it was like, well, can that happen?
Yeah.
Can a cable company own the networks?
Yeah, because then you get into that whole, like, Big Brother, like, let's tailor the news and let's, you know...
Not only that, which is a huge issue, especially in the States, Fox News, but Comcast could go, okay, Dish Network, you want to have NBC content?
Yeah.
We're going to charge you twice as much.
Yeah.
Which is, breaking the law.
Absolutely.
But there's nothing, if that goes on a little bit, who's going to prove them wrong? Because, is Comcast going to sell it to themselves? How does that work, right? So how do they control
it's very murky waters.
It is. So the FCC got the vote, obviously, and it was almost unanimous. One guy voted against it.
Well, the other people were all bought out by Comcast anyway.
So I think that one guy was like, no, does anyone see the problem with this? And then, of course, the Department of Justice in the States also approved it, which I thought was kind of interesting, because they usually are the ones that hold it up if it gets through SEC. But so that's going through. The joint venture is going to be worth about $37 billion, which is a huge company. What is it? So Comcast is going to own officially 51%, so controlling interest of the merged company. It'd be one umbrella company. And General Electric, which currently owns NBC Universal, is going to own 49%. So they're keeping their money stake, but they don't want any control of the company.
Yeah.
And I think the CEO is going to be the current CEO of NBC Universal.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Keep them
so now
forward.
Comcast owns Universal Studios, though, but
yes,
by acquisition, and then also the theme parks.
The theme parks. They own the movie studio, like you said. They own all the NBC cable channels. So if you have a local NBC news studio, that's not Comcast's. They own all of NBC's like cable channels, like the superfluous ones they run, as well as like MSNBC, the news channel, USA, the news channel. It's huge.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, so it'd be very interesting to see if anything murky goes on there.
For sure.
Big acquisition, big news for the States in terms of everything. It's not diversifying, it's all clumping, and that's not the way to go. So we'll see what happens there.
So if you were interested in buying Apple stocks, you should have done it a couple days ago, because Steve Jobs decided he was going to take another leave of absence. Which, because everyone perceives that Apple is Steve Jobs, it means when Steve Jobs decides to say, hey, I'm going to kind of go on vacation for a bitch.
And when Apple stock goes down, you buy it because you know it's going back up.
Absolutely.
However, it's almost impossible to buy Apple stock.
That's true.
So Steve Jobs announced, was it before or after their earnings call? I think just after their earnings
call.
No,
it was just before.
Okay. So just before their first quarter earnings call, that he's going to stay in place as CEO, but he's going to take a step back from day-to-day operations so he can spend time to focus on his health, which I think probably a really hard move, but a good move for him personally.
Well, the thing is that, as much as everyone loves Apple, we don't really want Steve Jobs to die because he continues working at it.
No,
no one should die for their job.
No, and well, if anyone's going to, probably him.
Yeah.
Obviously, excluding military and all that, but he's stupidly dedicated to this company, and he speaks of it as much more than a company. I think he's been at it a little too long. He's getting a little crazy. But I think it makes sense. So Tim Cook, who's a COO,
Yes.
will remain as COO. Like, no one's position has changed.
He's just going to kind of step in and run the show for a bit.
Yeah, and I kind of have a feeling that they've all sat down and said, this is what we're doing this year.
Yeah, here's the next 12 months.
So he's like, hey, Tim, here's a list. Go do this. I'm going to Jamaica or something, right?
I want the spy cam photo where he's like drinking like a with a little straw drink, and he's like smoking some weed, and it's like, Steve Jobs is chilling. I feel good now. Guy's having a break,
Whipping out his
But
HP WebOS
he's sitting
tablet.
there. He's sitting there on the beach, and he's wearing a black turtleneck and jeans.
He would have to, yes.
But he had like jean shorts, and maybe like torn.
Jean shorts were never cool.
Yeah, but somehow Steve Jobs
torn jean shorts.
Yeah, torn jean shorts, and maybe like he'd have like a muscle turtleneck.
Yes. Kind of. No.
And just he'd be asymmetrical because he'd just be lifting his iPad all day.
I don't need to. That image has gone horribly wrong. That's the future of Apple. Stocks did dive as soon as that was announced.
But then they came back up when they were like, "Hey, we're making tons of money."
Kinda.
Well,
they didn't fully recover, which I thought was interesting. You kind of think it'd go.
Well,
back up,
yeah, but the thing is, Steve Jobs is to some people more important than how much money the
Apple stock price is really hard to predict.
Yeah,
because a lot of the time it doesn't do anything.
It just kind of.
Yeah, so kind of interesting. But they did make a pile of money.
Yes.
First quarter this year. So did IBM. IBM made a big old pile of money.
Well, someone was pointing out to me something that was pretty interesting, is that they're counting up to, 10 billion apps, I think is what the countdown is to it now. And it's like a little counter when you check it on their website or when you go to the App Store on your phone. And someone made the joke, is like, that's just a giant money counter. Every time that number goes up, they've made some money somewhere. And it's true. Like that, there's a lot of free apps, but there's still tons of money being made in the App Store.
Tons. Way too much. Really. But, I mean, they're selling tons. I mean, the Mac sales are up 23%. They're selling like 16 million iPhones a quarter. Who's buying these? People not already have phones?
I don't know. We're in a generation now where you own like 2
that.
phones, or you just trade your phone in every 3 months. You pay stupid amounts, but people do it.
People are crazy.
It's true.
If I had the money, I'd probably do it.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of Tech Insight this week.
It's kind of alive!
Nah, it's still dead.
Oh.
Hi everyone, welcome to Mad Science for this week. Once again, I'm joined with Dave! It's been a while since he's been here. But we got a few, 3 stories in fact, that are they're kind of out there. They're really neat.
Yes. If by out there you mean, I wouldn't actually say that. Anyway, we'll see. Let's go on.
So we're going to start off. We're going to actually kick this off with a more easy one to explain. And that is
say the word. Say the word.
Mammalian regeneration. Meaning regeneration within mammals.
Ooh.
Not so much because we know that there are
Not
reptiles
lizards.
and lizards. Yeah, we know that there are reptiles and lizards which are able to regenerate parts of their body. Specifically, I can never pronounce its name right. I believe it's called the axolotl, which is a type of salamander found in Mexico, which stays in a juvenile form instead of becoming full grown. And this grants it a very interesting ability. This is the best one that we can really compare to. If you cut off its legs, it'll grow a new one, completely. Matter of fact, if you take that same nerve going through that leg and split it, it'll grow 2 legs on the same stump. Neat. So, basically they figured out how this is working for mammals, though. So there's a specific gene. Now, most of you geneticists out there, or anyone who studied genetics or biology, will know what this is. For people like me who really didn't pay attention to biology,
that's comforting.
Yeah.
Coming from the guy who wants to make a flying monkey army.
Look.
I don't need to know facts about DNA. I will make them up.
I'm pretty sure I can just sew wings on them and they'll fly.
Yes.
They will. They'll have to learn. Anyway, so basically they took a few lab mice, and this all started when they were doing a different test for different, I can't remember the condition, but they decided to puncture a hole in these mouse's ears to separate them out from the control group. And their ears regrew. Now, mice ears do not regrow. If they are damaged, they stay that way.
Yeah.
So whenever you see like a cartoon mouse with a chunk out of its ear, there's a reason for that. It does not come back. And they were curious about this. So it turns out that the mice they were using had a specific gene type, P21, which was deactivated. And they've done this with mice for a long, long time because it allows them to explore different conditions for cell growth and all sorts of other things. However, they didn't know that what it would do would be allow for regeneration because P21 stops the regenerative process and cell cycle at a certain point.
Now, I think the big next question is, which you're probably going to be addressing anyway, humans have a P21 or an analogous gene?
We do, in fact. Most mammals share this one gene or an
Analogous?
that's the word. One that allows our bodies to stop the cell process at a certain point to prevent cancer. P53, for instance, is another one that is responsible for stopping cancer's growth. However, and this is in case of DNA damage. So if we were to lose a finger, you damage DNA of cells. It does cause a bit of damage, and if we're not careful, if our body isn't working as it should, for instance, for cancer, which is nothing more than damaged DNA, which is causing cells to multiply and grow, but become very, very damaging because it's not working proper.
This is not regulated?
It's not regulated, you see.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. P21 is one of those regulatory genes. P53 works in conjunction with it to prevent this.
Okay.
However, with P21 turned off, they noticed that the mice, if they were missing parts of them, they regrew them. I believe they took off one of their toes. And, yeah, I know. They took off one of their toes. And
Don't worry, it'll come back.
Yeah.
I'm sure that comforts the mouse.
Yeah, well, it grew back, and they were sitting there wondering about cancer. Because if now we're taking off the gene that's stopping cell growth, and preventing cancer, well, what are we going to do? Turns out that the damaged DNA was actually destroyed. Cells have a built-in self-destruct mechanism, and that actually went working. So these mice displayed the same kind of conditions with their regenerative cells as normal, naturally regenerative species did in nature.
Very cool.
So the lizards and these other creatures had the same processes happen that these mice experienced. Very good news, because that means that if we can inhibit P21, we can increase the rate of healing for humans or other mammals. We don't have to necessarily turn it off.
Not really, but like make it more comprehensive.
Exactly.
As well.
Yeah.
So cool.
That could be very interesting. The next one we're going to talk about is, because, once again, we can't have this show without robots.
Robopocalypse.
Yeah. So IBM released their Watson computer onto the world of Jeopardy.
Just call it Skynet,
I'd like to.
I'm calling it Skynet from now on.
Unfortunately, it's not connected to any network, which is still a good thing. This, however, is one of IBM's forays into artificial intelligence. Now, if you remember back in the past, they made Deep Blue, which was the chess-playing computer, which I believe, I can't remember his name, but beat the champion of the time.
Fisher?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, that's right. He just disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it beat the current chess champion of the time, and there was a lot of controversy because it's a computer that just beat a human, the best human at chess. So then they said, well, let's try something different.
And then the human had a bit of a hissy fit afterwards.
Yeah, well, who wouldn't?
That was kind of embarrassing.
This, however, Watson's different because they were sitting there saying, "Oh, so we're gonna just you're gonna make a computer that can potentially access the web and find every answer it needs for Jeopardy." And they said, "Well, we're not gonna have it on the web. We're gonna combine all human knowledge into a set of computers or a computer bank that's about the size of several refrigerators, or so, maybe more." And they did that. And then they said, okay, cool, so you've got it all on one system, but now it's just going to be able to answer questions left, right, and center. Not true, because remember, Jeopardy has to be answered in the form of a question. And there's wordplay. They don't just sit there. Like, Trebek makes a point whenever he tries to bring up a topic.
Didn't even think about that.
There's
oh my
wordplay.
God, that's right.
So they made Watson, and this is the part that amazes me, they made Watson interpret language. So just anything that you want to say to it, like, any of the wordplay that comes up in the game, Watson will interpret, and it can judge based on the topic if it can answer the question.
Neat.
It has an avatar because they're sitting there saying, okay, now we need to see something. We don't want to just be in the background. So they have this avatar thing. It's a neat little monolith.
Which I thought should have been Max Headroom.
Yeah, I thought so too. I agree.
I thought it would have been cuter.
If you don't know who Max Headroom is,
Oh,
you need to, anyway. But anyway.
You need to reevaluate your life.
Well, but the thing is though, the avatar will give clues and hints as to whether it's if it's confident or not. It will actually have these. It has these lines that go blue or orange. If it's orange, it's not very confident. If it's blue, it's very confident. And it can answer in the form of a question.
Cool.
So all we need to do is add this with a learning algorithm, and you got yourself a basic AI because now it's able to interpret.
So it can think, and all we have to do is make it learn.
Yep.
And
give it a body.
And then we'll just.
Yeah.
That's it. Sign off.
Pretty much. But. So that's
cool,
that's very interesting.
Cool, but scary.
Yes, and this it should be mentioned that it beat the current champions, is only in a practice match. The real one's coming up in, I believe, February, where they will actually televise it. Cool. So it should be very interesting.
All right.
Our last one.
Last story.
Yes.
Okay, let's see if we can make this quick. Because honestly, I don't see.
You know what?
I know a lot about quantum physics, and I know a lot about quantum law. I don't look smart, but I know a lot about it. So.
And I've read a lot of it too. So here's the thing. I'm going to just put this out there right now. Not going to explain this properly. Have the link in the show notes. I encourage you, if you are very interested in this, read it. Please go to the link and have a look at this. Quantum physics and quantum mechanics is already a convoluted, confusing, and difficult topic anyway.
Yeah.
So we can only, this just gets worse. But anyway, let's go on.
It's one of those things where someone says, trust us, it works.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't believe you. And it's like, well, then you know what? You're just going to have to get off the train.
Yeah. So what we have here is teleportation. But if you've watched the show, we've talked about teleportation in the quantum level before. But that's teleportation in space. We are talking about teleportation through time. And I'm not talking about some sort of quaint thing of, oh yes, I'm going to time travel to the past. No, it doesn't work that way. Because you can't go back.
So again, it's quantum. So we're talking about
a
single particles.
Single particle, and even then, sometimes smaller than.
Yeah.
And so we know the basic concept of entanglement is taking two particles, and one of them, particle B, is basically imbued with the qualities of particle A, becoming a copy. But this particle is in the States. So we're in Ottawa, it's in Washington, and it gets entangled.
So they're entangled. They're doing the same thing.
Effectively, the particle has been teleported.
So duplicates. Okay.
Now, for quantum entanglement through time, this kind of works a little bit differently, because there's a certain point where they say, and once again, I'm going to be reading out of the article here, where they're talking about how space-time is intermeshed, we know that, but it gets really spooky. And Einstein called quantum mechanics spooky action at a distance.
Yeah.
And this gets really spooky because basically the experiment is we're going to take a qubit, so it's a particle with information, and we are going to send it to Wednesday to our analyzer. However, we have to send it at 11:45. But if we want to get it and receive it and have it perfectly entangled, we have to actually catch it at 12:15. So it's kind of weird because on Wednesday, they're going to get there and they're going to find that particle that's going to say, hello world, this is particle, so on and so forth.
We have the item.
They're going to have it on Wednesday at 12:15. But only at 12:15 will they be able to find it. They won't be able to find it if they're a second over. It will be gone. Apparently. This is where it gets spooky. Because first off, it's no longer just going through space. It's gone through time. Because it doesn't show up in the same day. So we're going to have to cut it short there. Because, no, honestly, we have to cut it short there because there's not enough time to talk about this. Check out the article.
It's
It's crazy.
It's a neat concept. I'm actually looking forward to reading the article again.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where I will have to read it multiple times, and I'm going to have to sort of figure out for myself how much of this do I think is bullshit, how much do I think is just them using terms. It's sort of like, and I see a lot of science articles like this nowadays, much like the alien life.
Yeah.
In
skewing
the acid
the
light.
facts by using improper terms.
Yeah.
So
So.
keep an eye on this one. Read the article. Get a better understanding.
And if you have a comment about it,
yeah, please do send it in to us to our email address, because we want to hear from you guys, and this is especially great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that wraps up for science this week.
Hey everybody, welcome behind the lens. This week we're doing a shootout between two monitors. So if you're having trouble focusing your video on that little tiny screen on the back of your camera, we have some options for you. One's a little bit, I don't want to say lower end, but lower price.
Yes.
And one's a lot higher price.
Yes.
They're both by Marshall Electronics.
Yes. Which is one of the most well-known names for professional monitoring. Now, I mean, what would you use a monitor for? Well, with a lot of these SLRs, you're trying to do critical focus, which is really hard to do on a 3-inch screen. And sure, you can go out and you buy a Zacuto Z Finder or some sort of magnifying device for the back, but it doesn't improve the visible resolution on the back. It's not going to make it easier. It's just going to make those pixels bigger.
And some of the cameras have like really high pixel density screens, so you're a little better off. Some of them really don't.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mishmash.
So what we're looking at here is two 7-inch monitors, and both of them allow you to plug in via HDMI, which is a whole other ballgame, because depending on the camera you own, that's going to play well or it won't play well. If you've got a 5D Mark II or a T2i or a 60D, you're going to have some issues with either one of these monitors really working properly, because they do some weird output formats. But if you've got something like a Nikon D7000, the GH2 that we've got here, a Canon 7D, it does proper output. Now, these monitors both support displaying 1080i. Or 1080p footage. Now that being said, they're not 1080p resolution. Both of these guys are 800 by 480 pixels.
Yeah, 1080p screen that size would cost a monumental amount of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's not really that important, because as long as it can properly show you the resolution, then you'll have a better chance of being able to focus because it's much larger.
What it comes down to is the scaling, which
Yes.
gets a completely different conversation. But trust us, the resolution's not terribly important.
Yeah. So the first one we got here is Marshall's 7-inch sort of entry-level monitor. It goes for $440. Now you get a lot in the package with it. You get, and you can get it with multiple different battery types. You can get it with an LPE6, which is what the 60D and the 7D and the 5D use as a battery, or you can get it with the BP511, which is the older Canon batteries, or you can get it with a Nikon ENEL3E. It comes with a battery. It's a third-party battery, but no big deal. Comes with the charger for it. Comes with the hot shoe mount that we have it attached to the camera here. It comes with a full HDMI to full HDMI, a full HDMI to mini HDMI, VGA port for connecting to computer, S-video port, regular component or composite cables. Basically all the connection types you'd need, plus you got AC power, 12-volt car power, as well as a stand with a suction if you want to attach it to like some sort of rig or something like that. So you get literally everything you can possibly need in the box with this guy for about $440. Now you might be thinking, that's 7 inches and that's 7 inches. What am I spending $1,000 on this guy for? Because that's how much this one costs. Now, there's a couple things that you gain with the higher-end monitors. First off, you've got the SDI connections at the back. Now, these are industry standard whenever you're doing any kind of linking up with professional end camcorders, as these connections lock into place and they cannot be removed. So you don't accidentally pull shit out when you're working on something or someone trips over a cord and it pulls everything to the floor. These are designed to keep it in there. Now, this also works in a battery plate, and you can get various different batteries to power it as well. This one's specifically an older Canon video camera battery, but you can get it with Panasonic and stuff like that. It also uses a much more standard connection for power, so this is going to be a little bit more friendly if you're using Anton Bauer battery packs, or you've got some sort of powered rig system that's got its own independent power system. You're going to have a little bit more access to these kind of connections. But the big thing with this monitor is the array of professional functionality to it. So with this one, you've got control of brightness and contrast, which is okay, but that doesn't really give you a lot of picture control.
Yeah,
this
pretty standard for like any display, really.
Absolutely. This one has brightness and contrast as well as color and tint, and they're all quickly accessible on the dials up front. So you can do quick tweaking to make sure that your video resolution or your video color representation is good. Now, with these all balanced out and these balanced out, we tried out both of the monitors, and there's a noticeable difference in picture fidelity with this screen.
Yeah, it's like night and day.
The color representation is a lot more accurate. And although they both have the same resolution, this is definitely a higher quality LCD.
Yeah.
And you do have a better sense of sharpness, even though they're both displaying the same native resolution.
Yeah, for sure.
So this guy definitely makes it a little bit easier to focus, a little bit more color accurate. This one, you can definitely use it to focus. It works fine for focusing.
It works fine.
But you can't really use it to judge things like exposure or what your color, what your color is going to look like, because it's really not super accurate.
Definitely not exposure, because when there's lots of whites on here, the whole thing goes, and it's kind of...
Yeah, so this is really ideally just used for focusing. So, if that's really all you're looking for, this is a great option. But in this guy, you gain a bunch of other features related to focusing that make it easier. So you get what's called peaking, which is a really cool effect where it turns everything to black and white, and then you get a red outline on the point that's in focus. So if you kind of go back and forth in focus, say you have a table with a bunch of candles on it or something, you'll see each candle get outlined in red as you progressively move further back and forth. So it's a really good way to be able to check whereabouts your in focus area is by seeing what has the most amount of red on it.
Yeah, it'd be good if you want to set your focus points or something for a tracking shot or whatever.
Yeah.
You can, yes, this is in focus, check with that mode, yes, it definitely is.
Now, again, talking about exposure and why you can use this to judge exposure, it has this great mode called false colors, which basically gives you that sort of infrared camera look that you see where everything's blue, reds, yellows, and greens, and you get a little scale chart that you can mount to the side that will tell you how many plus or minus exposure it is based on the color temperature you're seeing on the monitor. So that's a really quick way to click on that and see, oh, my highlights are blown here, or my shadows are too dark here, and so you can actually kind of gauge exposure on that. So that's beneficial as well. And you've also got a 1-to-1 pixel scaling mode. So a lot of these cameras, when you plug in the HDMI capability, you can't zoom in on the pixels anymore, or it takes a long time to do it. This guy's got a functionality where you can just click it and it looks at that 1-to-1 from the 1080 feeds. You still get good sharp quality from it because it's just looking at the proper section from the middle of that feed, which makes it easy if you need to do some really precise focusing. They both mount with a 1/4-20 thread, so you can mount it to a hot shoe with something like this, or to an arm on a rig or something like that. They both have the capability of flipping the image both upside down and left and right, so they can be used on either side in any orientation. Overall, I like both monitors. I can see why someone would buy this.
Yeah, they're almost different purpose.
Yeah, I mean, if you're shooting video professionally, you want this monitor.
Oh yeah, you probably already have one.
Yeah. If you're just getting into independent filmmaking, you're shooting some amateur SLR stuff, this is a really good budget option just to give you a lot better sense of focus control. So check out Marshall monitors. They've got a whole bunch of different monitors available. They've also got a Pro 5-inch model if you want something a little bit smaller, which is also a nice option. It's about half the price of this guy as well too. So check out Marshall monitors. It's lcdracks.com is the website. So that's kind of our review. We can't pick a winner because honestly they're both targeted for different groups.
Yeah, I think so. And that's it from Behind the Lens this week.
Hey everybody, it's that time of the week where we try to make you laugh with something funny we found on the internet.
Lots of things funny on the internet this week. Something from Sky TV.
Yes, which
it's
is
a commercial.
Now, Sky TV is the UK, I believe.
Yes. It's their alternate, because it's not BBC, so it's their cable premium channels.
Yes. Now, Sky TV is hosting rugby this year. They're the big channel promoting rugby. So they have put together a little cameraman boot camp of what Sky TV cameramen have to go through to be able to film for the rugby in the UK. So check out this clip.
You are here because your country needs more cameramen than ever before. It's going to be a lot harder on the sideline, but just knowing how to turn on a camera does not make you a cameraman. If you ain't moving, you better be dead. I will make you a cameraman. This is not a hammock. This bad boy will give you a clean headshot at a range of 100 yards. You may work for Sky Sport, but your butt belongs to me. It'll be worse in Wellington. You will shoot harder. You will shoot sharper. You will be focused. You will be ready for Rugby World Cup 2011. All 48 games, all live. You will be match fit. We will be match fit.
So that looks pretty intense.
I want to go to that training just to be like, I made it through that training.
Headshot.
Yeah.
That was good. Very punny.
I thought it was really well produced. Like, you know, they really put a lot of effort into like making the jokes about the camera. Like when they're assembling all their camera gear together, like they'd be putting together a weapon and stuff. Like, it was really funny. And I mean, I think we get a kick out of it because, you know, we've run with gear and we know how cumbersome stuff can be. And so the idea that you have to kind of, you and your camera have to make it through everything is pretty funny.
It was really well thought out. It doesn't make me want to watch rugby at all, though.
It makes me want to see how interestingly they could film the rugby. Although I know it won't be interesting.
No.
I have this high hope, like I'll go watch Sky TV rugby and it'll be so dramatic.
It's just
because
like,
of, you know, camera angles and switching every way, and
it's gonna be hockey guys and there's like,
yeah.
And following the ball, there's a fight, switch to okay, and we're back. And that's it, because that's what sports filming is.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
So yeah, you know, I'm not gonna watch rugby.
No, well, we can't watch Sky TV anyway.
No.
In Canada, you pretty much can't watch rugby because no one here cares.
That's true.
Yeah.
That brings us to the end of the show this week. As per usual, if you'd like to get a hold of us, you can reach us on our Twitter at almost_Friday.
Or alternatively, if you're a little old-fashioned, you can email us at contact@almostfridayshow.com.
And if you're really old-fashioned and want to send us snail mail, we're not interested.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit.
No.
Take your letter and just shred it.
Because we'll burn it on the assumption that it's anthrax.
That's over now.
Oh, no one told me.
You're about 15 years too late.
You mean I've been burning all my mail for nothing?
That's right.
Ah!
You could have been reading those copies of Vogue. See you next week.